What's going on, guys? Boosted here once again, bringing you another war recap from Ohiowhthse. This is going to be an interesting recap. I got quite a few to show, a little bit to talk about, some good, some bad. Also, get to premiere some of the new troops in this recap. I want to talk a little bit about funneling, and we're going to show some of the advantages of the earthquake spell in this recap. There's going to be a good bit to choose from. As you can see, we were victorious, 41 to 38. We've got some of the stats here. We're just going to jump right in. This is what's going on here. It really kind of boils down to a 3-star versus 2-star kind of party. 11 to 9, 4 to 5. This is kind of what's happening. Some of our big boys did pretty good this war. Solid 2 stars. This is definitely something that gives our 9s a little bit of a break, especially give some of the 10s a break when they can come across and 2-star each other like this. And that way we can kind of get down there and clean up some of the 1-stars on the 9s. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Machinist Elite, they did pretty good. As you can see, it was a pretty close war, 38 to 41. They definitely brought it. They dropped a star on Kurt up top. They left open a couple 9s, and that was pretty much the end for them. If we can't clean up the 9s and leave some things open on the 10s, the doorway's open for us, and that's pretty much what the recipe is here. If you can 2-star the 10s, clean up the 9s, it's going to be a pretty good situation for you. And some of the recaps I want to show today, I'm gonna end this on the number 1 here. That was our most heroic on Harvey, and I'll explain more why I'm gonna leave that one for last. I don't want to leave on too much of a bad note, but I'm gonna start at the bottom here. We're gonna start on 14. This was hit by David, and I really kind of want to start with this because it's funny, and anybody else who's a fellow chiver will understand the phrase "mind the gap." And if you look at this thing, I'm going to pause it real fast and take a look at this base. I mean, it is all spread out, and something like this is a Town Hall 7. It's kind of amusing, and you see what David's bringing, and this is going to be a slaughter. And 1:35. I got to start it off kind of right, and look at that, right in the middle, big giant gap, and David just goes to town. That's kind of the party. That's what I'm expecting to see when you see a base with a gap in the center. He brings over the dragon, double poison, keeps it occupied so that it's in the poison, because you can't just drop poison anymore. We all know the troops run around it. It is what it is. We'll ×2 this, and then it is pretty much a slaughter. Pre-heal, tanks go in, they start drawing fire, and it's just hilarious. Here comes the rage spell. This was good for me to watch. I like this stuff. It's funny to see that. I don't know if that was intentional. Blood type, I don't want to call you out, bud, but that's going to get you hit pretty hard every time. I don't know if it's like I said, if it was intentional or not, but that's funny. And I hope you get that fixed in the next war, bud, because you're gonna get owned. At this point, I'm just going to ×2 it. It's pretty cake from this point on. The Valkyries are running on the south, P.E.K.K.A.'s at the top, King's down there. It's super cleanup. And I know it was a bit of a bully attack, but that's just what makes it even more fun, because sometimes you do get to slaughter people in war, and that's enjoyable. And it's enjoying. It's fun. It takes some stress off. So, as you can see, 1.5 minutes. Good job, David. That's awesome. And we're going to go back up. We're going to look at number 13. That's going to be the next guy up here. This was Odin's hit. I think I'm going to show 2 of Odin's, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to drop on this one first. This guy, if you look at this base, I'm going to pause on this one. If you look at this base here, some of the things that should jump out to you pretty quick actually. When the base is quadrant like this, it's really easy to funnel. So you can pick a square section. You can pick the center aisle, the top aisle, 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever. A little bit of cleanup and the funnel is perfect. And Odin does exactly this. He picks a side he wants to attack from. Usually it's closest to the clan castle, so that way you can get your lure and then just go for it. You see he's got his earthquake spells. He's going to break open. He's going to have full access to all the splash in the core. He's going to have access to the town hall, and it is going to be a slaughter. That's everything that's going to happen here. So when you guys see a base like this, if you're a Town Hall 8, you can bring a Go Wipe, a Go Vaho, something that's got a pretty heavy attack squad. As you can see, he dropped his minis in at the 3 o'clock and the 6 o'clock, easily funneling off. Here comes the earthquakes. When this is all said and done, this is a runway. I mean, this is a one-way street at this point, straight into the center of this guy's base. And again, drops the barb on the gap, and takes care of the clan castle, gets the lure for a 1 barb. I mean, that is just an amazing cost. So that way he doesn't have to, you know, expend so much troops. His minis are still working at 3, getting those storages down. Clan castle is going to be done here in just a second. And then at that point, it is just bring in the Valkyries, bring in the golem, and just run straight at this base. Golem first, delay the Valks, right? Don't let them run too far. They're going to be aggroed on the tight spaces. Move up to the top of that compartment. They're going to take care of the king. They're going to move in. And then once they move in, I want you to watch this heal spell. Watch the placement of this spell. It is absolutely perfect. He could not have done this any better. Once the spell drops, it covers every single piece of defense on the inner ring. Look at that. We'll pause. Air defense, mortar, air defense. That is textbook, my friend Odin. Amazing job on the heal spell. While everything is focused inside, guess what he brings from the outside? The hogs. They just roll around the ring. Valkyries are still alive. That heal spell in the center created such a strong army that everybody's still alive. Nobody's dead. I don't think he lost but maybe 2 or 3 Valkyries through this. They're just running around the top. They have literally 3 pieces of defense left. Look at all those hogs. It's just a massacre. At this point, it is completely game over. There is no turning back at this point. We're going to ×2 it. Super clean up. Odin, swag heal, my friend, in the core. Textbook. Amazing hit, my friend. This is a beautiful attack. You could not have done that any better. Keep it up, brother. Moving right along. I think we're going to go to number 11. Yeah, we're going to go to 11. That was next on the list. This is Campbell 717. This is going to be, there's a few aspects I want to talk about this one before we get started that really kind of shine in this attack. The jump spell. That's pretty cool. Oh, hang on. No, easy lure. Sorry, wrong notes. The easy lure, because of how the clan castle is kind of staggered over to the center. He uses that 1 hog, if you notice, in his army. Again, this is a Ohiowhthse kind of party, minus the hoe, because that's just going to be for the lure. But he brings the 4 earthquakes. It's going to get him in pretty good. And the golems, they're going to turn into the giant bombs. And if you kind of look at this base where all of the defenses are kind of like really close together, you only have a few places for giant bombs. You're not going to have that many, and it's pretty clear of where they're going to be. There's something going on here when you attack a base like this. He's going to bring this he's going to bring his kill squad in from the south at 6 o'clock. And when you crack a base on a point like this, you really have to be careful to create such a really wide funnel, or your troops are going to walk on you. And we're going to see that here. So when he brings in his 1 hog, he gets the easy lure. 1 hog, clan castle troops come out, dragon 2 loons, pretty standard stuff for Town Hall 9. He's going to pull it down, pull it to the south, and while they're flying, he uses this time to really be beneficial with it. Now drops the quake. He's going to get straight access to the core. And then at this point, he's just going to kill the CC and then create his funnel. And when you create a funnel on a point like this, you want to be really careful with your wall breaker timing, and you want to be really cautious on creating a very wide funnel, so that way your troops don't take a walk. And you'll see some of his Valkyries split off here, and that's kind of a downside to it. But it is what it is. He got 3-star. I mean, how can you critique that? I mean, how can you kind of go, oh, you did something wrong, bud? Oh, 3 stars, dude. You're doing a great job. And just to kind of make it clear, when the golems jump in, look at that, 1 giant bomb's down. Here comes a 2nd giant bomb's going to get tripped. His troops are awesome. Look, if you see how the wizards just all split off like that, all of his golems and his queen took care of all of the point defense and all the buildings in the middle. Look at that, the 2-finger Valk drop. One of the groups goes completely to the left, the other goes straight in. So that second group is now pretty much a cleanup group, so he has to keep the center group alive, which they do kind of pitter out. They do kind of run through. He's got a heal spell in the middle. Look at that perfect heal spell again, guys. Amazing. They're sitting there soaking up that heal, just swinging through those walls, getting both of those wizard towers down, and that's awesome. The kings and the wizards on the right doing cleanup. Valks and some wizards on the left doing cleanup. Pretty much takes care of the center. Look at the Valkyries are 1-on-1-ing, 1v1ing the archer towers. That's awesome. Second Valk comes over, done. Base is history. So when you're, a couple little pointers to note, when you're going through a base and you're breaking into at a point, leave some of the buildings in the center so that way your troops have something to be attracted to, and really spread that funnel really wide, and they'll all go straight to the core. Campbell, amazing hit. Good job, brother. We're going to move on to number 9. He's next on the list. This was done by the Conqueror. Now, This is going to be a jump spell. Really sweet jump spell placement. Take a look at this base. Again, all these defenses are really close. They're really tight together. Reading a base like this, especially when you look at it, you can easily tell that, you know, hogs will work pretty beneficial here. There's not a lot of place for double giant bombs. You can kind of predict where the spring traps are going to be. So standard issue Ohiowhthse Town Hall 9, one jump. She's going to bring one jump down here at 6 o'clock, which gives her all access to the core, which gets you 1 layer, 2 layer, and core. And if you look, because it's kind of a weird Tetris kind of base, that section at 9 o'clock, that second layer in, is an L shape, which goes all the way up and around the base. And that's what she's going to use to kind of bring her rocks and her Valkyries in to go through. Let's see what happens here. Again, a minute 35 seconds. I mean, these are really quick attacks. So super efficient attacks. Drops the archers in the corners. Get the builder sets already down. Get back to the action. Troll Tesla pops. You know, the golem's like, oh hey, I like you. You're my friend. Look at the jump spell right there. Covers all the compartments. Great placement. Look at the giant bomb placement on the outside. It's crazy. Trying to get the wall breakers, I guess, but wall breakers are attracted to the corners, not the inside, so completely useless on the double giant bomb. Valks, King to the left, Golem to the right. Just couldn't go any better. So you got one tank on the right, you got one tank in the core, you got hogs coming in, surgical style. The heels are meeting the hogs. Can't ask for more perfection. Spring traps, you're going to throw a couple here because she knows where they are. You can tell they're right between the defenses. Second heel's about to go down to meet the hogs when they're on their way over. Boom. Again, great placement. Covers the cannon, the archer tower. You want to lead your troops whenever they're going into a heal spell. Predict where they're going, not where they've been. So she does a great job of this, leading the troops where they're at. Look at that. One heal spell in the bag. It's cleanup time. ×2 it here. Queen ability not burnt. Heal spell in the bag. Amazing hit. And it's done. Look at that. Doesn't even swag it. I probably would have swagged it in the center there. Feels like Odin. Style. Alright, so we're going to go up to number 7. And there's quite a bit I want to talk about on this one. I know we just did the Conqueror, but you know, she did really good this war. Or he did really good this war, I apologize. I did really good this war. And this one, we're gonna watch a few pieces here as far as how the funnel goes, what happens with the earthquake spell and what that actually gave him, what that gave him to use, how the troops split up, and there's kind of a surprise in this one as well, which is pretty cool, and we'll talk about that. But if you look at this base, kind of real fast, you can notice where there's not a lot of defenses, point defense or air defense close to the outsides of this base. On the south side, there's only one archer tower. There's 2 archer towers on the top corners, and there's 2 archer towers at 11 o'clock, and that's okay. But the read here is amazing. Watch where he places his wizards. Completely out of harm's way. This is also done with minions, so you can easily funnel like this with minions. Pick those buildings that are outside of the radius of the defense and drop them. Odin did a really good example of that as well in the Town Hall 8 that he worked on. And watch the earthquake spell. Just opens it up. And that right there, if you look at how much of the base is opened up, pretty much, I'd say 80% of it, you got both small wings and you got that outside, or you got that 2 o'clock compartment, but everything else is now open. Amazing read on the earthquake spell. Golem's wide. Look at the funnel. The funnel is extremely wide. You've got the wizard down here at 6 o'clock, going to knock out that elixir storage. You see how he left the building up in the center for the Valks to be attracted to? That is what allowed them to go straight into the base. So heal spell down, take care of the clan castle troops. Golems are going in. And if you also notice, golems, since they're attracted to defensive structures, once the center wizard tower and air sweeper are down, they're going to split. And as soon as they split, oh, that is just golden. Because as soon as they split, now you have 2 tanks on either side of the base. Guess what the loons are for? Yeah, he's bringing in backside loons on both sides here. Yes, please, yes, more loons. I'm a loon fanatic. I love them. And once that bottom half is done, top half loons are in. Look at that. The golems are tanking. The balloons just pretty much go untouched here, except for that bottom half. And check this out. Out of the clan castle, first time in the replay, baby dragons. Love them. Now, you see the baby dragons, how they Especially that one dragon by himself. He gets kind of purple from time to time. That's an HP boost. So when the baby dragons are solo, we've all seen the updates, but when the baby dragons are solo, they enrage themselves. It's like they're angry to be by themselves. And at this point, the queen just pops her ability, knocks out that one of those last points of defense. There's too many balloons left. You got the golems down there. It's over with. There you go. There's baby rage. Baby rage. Get him. Get him. And he's like, hey, leave me alone, man. I'm smashing this. Leave me alone. I got this. Sweet. So baby dragons for the win here. We're going to ×2 the cleanup, and she's done for. Absolutely. Conqueror, great hit. Awesome to see the baby dragons for the first time in a real attack. He's got two more structures left. They're going to take a walk. Ooh, baby dragon eats mine. Awesome. They're pretty quick too. Look, quick little guys. Sweet. Good attack. Great read. And then we're going to show number one. And I'm not gonna harp too much on this one because this is a solid 78% 2-star in a Town Hall 10. And when you can 2-star Town Hall 10, that's the norm. That's the norm. There's nothing wrong here. There's just some things that I would like to point out. I'm not a Town Hall 10. I want to preface that. I've seen a lot of Town Hall 10 attacks, and I'm taking notes when I get there. And these are some of the notes I want to take. So everyone who's a Town Hall 9, especially in this group, can really learn from these as well. So pay attention to the Town Hall 10s. And we had a war our last war. There were a lot of donut bases. We had a lot of Town Hall 10s just step it up and just smash them. And in that particular style of base, if you can get your troops in the core, if you can funnel the corners and go straight for the core, it is a recipe for success. And I want to show this replay because that's not quite what happened, and we can always learn from both certain attacks, certain wins, certain failures. And this by no means was a failure. This was a complete success and a win. We got that high percentage 2-star. Amazing hit, Harvey. You did a great job, brother. But I do want to show this for the rest of us who are Town Hall 9s, thinking about going to Town Hall 10s. Just to kind of see what we're going to be up against. Some of the things we're going to need to learn, and some of those things that we all need to focus on as late 9s and early 10s. And I think as a team we can really learn from each other here. So he starts the funnel. He begins to work out, and you see where his wall breakers open up that bottom section. And I remember I mentioned this in the last recap, where if you leave those buildings up, especially in that core, or especially in that little nook, guess what? All the Valks take a hike over there. They don't go inside until after those buildings are cleared. And that timing is off because they don't take the jump. The corners are not cleared. The sides aren't cleared. A few of them take the jump. Most of them split. Almost every single one of them split off. The king goes in the core. The golems go into the core. The wizards go in the core. Drops a freeze. Gets real good value on the freeze. Back in Inferno is set for single target, which is kind of silly, especially for Valks, but whatever. Eventually the core goes down, the core falls, there's a rage, there's a heal. He gets it, man, smashes it. But in the beginning, just as you noticed, you got to get those sides down or your troops don't go straight to the core like they did in the last war, last couple recaps I showed. But Harvey, man, awesome hit. You're number 4, going at number 1. You're going up three steps, man. That's a really big jump. Congratulations, brother. This one hit got you, the most heroic attack of the war. And I definitely wanted to show it and kind of give some feedback here as positive and both negative, and kind of end on that learning note of this is something that's important for us guys, especially for us learning Town Hall 9s to kind of see these things, so we can learn from this. Harvey, good job, man. Got ×2 it. The golem just gets slaughtered at this point. Those things take so much damage. And that's a wrap. So overall, we did really good this war. Came down to the last couple stars. Machinist Elite, good job. Awesome war, guys. Let's keep it up. Hope to see you guys again later. Thanks. Bye.